Good morning. It is Friday, October 2nd. My name is Jason Stanton. I serve as senior pastor at First Lutheran in Onalaska. This is my morning musing for today as we go into a weekend when I think a lot of us might do some leaf watching. Maybe some of us are planning to go for a drive or maybe do some raking. I know the pine trees at my house have all dumped their pine needles for the fall season. Maybe there's more to come. Hard to keep up with all that. There's a lot of work to do in the fall to prepare for that season that is to come that we won't name right now. But as spring and summer, the feelings that come along with spring and summer, I mean, there's a reason the church puts Easter in the spring. There is a sense of new life and excitement and vibrancy. And then summer, of course, is the height of activity usually, and fun and reunions with people. And summer is especially living in this part of the northern hemisphere. It's when everything is just so very obviously alive. The time as summer transitions into fall can, for many I know, feel like a decline or a decay. And yet for some reason, I've always found fall to be my favorite season. The beauty of the leaves, the sense of thoughtfulness. Summer can feel at times almost frantic with activity. Fall feels a little more sane typically. Now this is all in non-COVID times, but maybe even especially this year, as we face the prospect of more time inside, less time outside. I think at least in my conversations with many, there's even a greater sense of dread for the seasons that are to come and what they'll mean to our relationships, our mental health. So oftentimes when I get there, especially with a sense of dread, because I typically live with a sense of excitement and hope, I oftentimes turn to poetry and just read random poems. Sometimes I read one that catches my imagination. This one is by Mary Oliver. It's called Song for Autumn. Don't you imagine the leaves dream now, how comfortable it will be to touch the earth instead of the nothingness of the air and the endless freshets of wind? And don't you think the trees, especially those with mossy hollows, are beginning to look for the birds that will come, 6, a dozen, to sleep inside their bodies? And don't you hear the goldenrod whispering goodbye, the everlasting being crowned with the first tuffets of snow? The pond stiffens, and the white field over which the fox runs so quickly brings out its long blue shadows. The wind wags its many tails, and in the evening, the piled firewood shifts a little, longing to be on its way. Sometimes fall is seen as a season of loss, of dying, after that vibrant spring and summer. But this poem looks forward, not back, to the beauty that is and the beauty that will be. It looks forward to the promise, not the decay. And so my prayer as we enter into this fall weekend that promises to be cool but not cold, as we're not quite to peak week of our leaves falling, but we're getting there. I pray we may be more like that piled firewood, shifting a little, longing to be on our way.